atmosphere here is electric. The House of Red, the jungle that belongs to Perth. Amazing, 5,000 packed. Once again, standing room at the back has been sold out. And we have the decider, Game 3 of the NBL Grand Final Series. There's Lisch, has built a name on being a big-time player here in Australia in his short time. Shencher on the post. Davidson. They'll go to Shencher again. He gets better body position. The little left-handed hook. Missed the lot.
And they need to get Shencher involved a lot more. He's been poor throughout the first 2 games, and he's got such a size advantage. The Wildcats going to him early, try and get his confidence going.
Tragardh with a fadeaway. Missed it. Crowd loved the miss. There's Martin. Hit a big shot in game 1 and a foul off the ball against Luke Shencher.
See, Drewy, that's an interesting point. They keep going to Shencher inside, and they've done it all year, and it has worked for them, but he's not in great form. I would rather get it to somebody that is in good form, get Redditch going early, get Lisch going early, because they're guys that are going to be able to bring them home if they can get hot.
Yeah, indeed, Hammer, and when they get those guards going, it's usually from the perimeter. That gets the crowd going, and it all builds from there, but I think they're pretty keen to get the big redhead into the action early on.
There's Reece Martin. Boy, a lot on his shoulders. Of course, Luke Martin will play a lot of minutes as well. And I think that may well be a block, says the ref.
Damien Martin, I think, he works at both ends of the floor, and he's a key offensively. And the more they can work on the defense, Hammer, it's going to be a long night for Damien.
It's a good call by the ref because Damien Martin was still moving.
New shot clock here.
Look at that pressure.
Campbell didn't shoot the ball that well last week. Glenn Saville had a quiet grand final series. Gets that away. And Perth on the boards. Gee, there's a lot of heat in this, a lot of emotion. Stevie Way with a little floater.
That's the mindset you want to see Stephen Way have, particularly when they get a stop. And I like the up-tempo defense and doubling from the Perth Wildcats early.
The atmosphere here is absolutely incredible. Tragardh takes it to the rack and scores his first 2.
After game 1, Pete Tragardh, his old man, gave him a call and said, "Young fella, you need to be more assertive, more aggressive. Don't wait for the ball to come for you. Go get it." And he looks like he's listening to his old man there, and really strong move to the basket. Good play by Tragardh.
There's Martin. You can feel the intensity in this game. The floating ball off the glass from Martin. Perth fans loving it. Might be an 8-second violation here. The steal is on. Turnover complete. Redditch from the elbow nails it. Crowd erupts.
This is the sort of defense that will win you championships when you want to play up tempo.
Campbell sets himself for 3 and strikes a dart.
Drewy, he's feeling right now after going 0 from 8 in game 2. He's feeling very good.
That is a big load off his shoulders, and to do it with a 3-pointer and try to quieten the fans down a little bit.
There's Lisch.
Pitch.
Spinning move into the paint. Shencher tried to put his under, but he's been called the travel.
Shencher is in a funk, and they've tried to get him involved early on. He's got a couple of turnovers already. It's going to be interesting to see how long Rod Beveridge stays with him.
But Drewy, why isn't Lisch more aggressive? He's got the talent to be able to score. He lacks the confidence.
Oh, Martin's lost the ball here. It's not a backcourt ball. It was off the foot of Perth, said ref Michael Aylan. And a beautiful Reece Martin stroke from 3.
And their last 2 3-pointers have come from 1 or 2 pass offense. That's not how we thought the Wollongong Hawks would go about it. We thought it was going to be a bump and grind every possession, but they're willing to shoot the early ball.
Kevin Lisch from 3.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. At the other end, when Wollongong made that 3-point bucket, it was off the same play that Rob Beveridge had drawn up on the board before the game. They said they were going to go right underneath that on ball. Well, Reece Martin's pulled up and said, well, defend that.
Oh, and then we see the foul. Kevin Lisch trying to go upstairs. The Wollongong Hawks really hanging tough. Only trail it by the point. Reece Martin, what a season he's had coming on since the departure of Ty McKee. Shorty McLeod threw Reece Martin the ball, said, "You lead us." And he's done a pretty good job with it in tandem with Luke Martin.
An unbelievable job. I mean, he's playing state league for the Rockhampton Rockets in Queensland. He's done an unbelievable job to be able to step up, and so too is Luke Martin, who was working 9 to 5 and couldn't find himself a job in the NBL. What a job he's done.
And Luke Martin coming back into the game. Luke Martin probably gives them this season, gives them a little bit more perimeter punch too. If they're going to go underneath on those screens, Luke Martin, he's going to ding him.
Kevin Lisch takes it to the rack and he's fouled strongly by Davidson.
I think it was Gruber, BT, underneath.
Just went at him, left the ground a little bit perhaps.
Dave Gruber didn't do a lot wrong there. No, held his ground, but just one of those ones, perhaps if he falls over and goes to the ground, it might have gone the other way.
The thing I liked about Lisch on that occasion, Drew, is he was aggressive. It was the time before when he went into the paint, could have done the same thing, but he gave it up to Big Red and they had a turnover.
It's a hostile house in here tonight. Redditch tips it back in. Campbell. Gruber. Fast movement. Saville thought about the one-handed slam.
For all the talk we have about the home court advantage, at the end of the day, throughout their history in grand final games, Perth Wildcats are only 3-3 in Perth.
Redditch to Shenser, and Shenser gets it done. Beautiful penetration pass by Redditch.
Good call, BT. That was off the penetration and the aggressive play by Redditch. Just by being able to get his head down, still be able to see the rotation from Gruber on the weak side. And the big fella puts it in.
And I think those statistics of saying you're only 3-3 in the jungle just goes to show that when you get to a grand final game, the emotion, the intensity, how you deal with the anxiety, all those factors come into play just as much as putting the ball in the hole.
Now watch for a bit of physical contact. Galen Young has stepped in, the enforcer for the Perth Wildcats. He gets hold of Saville into Tragardh. He outdoes the smaller Robbins.
The thing I like about what Wollongong so far is they've beat the pressure, but they haven't then pulled it back out. They've still been aggressive to the basket.
A point in it, the Wildcats. Redditch had it slapped away. Luke Martin, almost in the open court, gets it to Tragardh. He lays it up.
And this, for Cameron Tragardh, is a perfect start. His confidence was already high. He's reeled off 6 points. He's 3 or 4 from the field. He's involved in the action, and he's running the floor.
Galen Young arrives and immediately scores.
BT, what a contrast in game 2. No one could make a bucket. Both teams now shooting at 78% and 75%. In game 2, it was 37% and 40%.
And that's Hammer with some pretty fierce defense going on out here as well right now. I don't know about smart defense, but it's fierce.
Here goes Conrad. Got it back to Gruber. Aggressive lay-in.
Just energy, a lot of energy on the defensive end, but strategically, a lot of open shots coming.
Scoring feast here at the moment at the jungle. Here's Luke Martin. Settles for the 3 and nails it. They're feeling it at the moment. Don't worry about that.
He's fearless because he didn't have a job.
Hammer, we all thought that the Wollongong, in order for the Hawks to win, bump and grind, 24 seconds every time down the floor. They've got their advantage right now, and they look good when they're coming down and willing to accept the open opportunity early in the offensive sets. There's Cameron Tragardh down low, making a target. And when you start to shoot a few, Shane, you love running the floor. And Cameron Tragardh going the distance, and he takes a spell, comes out of the game along with Glenn Saville. And
here's Catalini, the veteran. Immediately wants to post up Conrad. Conrad did well. Catalini didn't quite stick it, but he'll shoot a couple.
Immediately they go into the veteran, and Conrad would have good thoughts in his head about his last appearance here. He was their shining light offensively in game one.
These are nice rims too, Drew.
They are,
These
aren't
are
they?
shooters' rims. It didn't look like it when you were shooting it this afternoon, but they are when you're in game shape.
Andrew Gaze and Shane, myself and our producer went 2-on-2. Unfortunately, Andrew and his mate went down.
No, that is incorrect, BT. It was a tie.
It was tightly fought. Catalini. It's Wollongong by 2. Campbell. Now Luke Martin looks at the penetration, likes what he saw, protected the ball, kept it alive. So did Campbell, but here's Lisch in the open court. Dishes back, opportunity, Catalini gives it back out to Lisch, nails the 12-footer, no he doesn't, it rims out.
Got to go lay that up, Kev. The fast break like that, he can finish in that situation.
There's the value of having the big 6'10", 6'11" Larry Davidson. He does it on the defensive end, intimidating that transition, and he gets an easy 2 as a reward. Really not doing a good job early on, Hammer, on that pick and roll.
Luke Martin went down Robbins. Galen Young from 3. It looked good from behind. Here's Wagstaff, one of the young guns in the NBL competition. They scrap it out. Lisch, word it up. And that'll be a foul on Gruber. Lisch will shoot a couple.
Oh
boy. It's on here. It's on here in the corner. There's a big box on. Billy Milton-Hall, the ref's in there. Gruber's going at it. Conrad's been thrown out.
That was a right hook to the ice.
From who?
Well, I don't want to be dobbing anyone in, but I'm sure we're going to be showing it anyway. But you will see one little fella. You will see one little fella throw a straight right cross
to Martin Catalini. Was it?
All I know is that no, that was at the end of it.
So Luke Martin. We probably need a wide-angle shot to see what happened. Here we have another look.
We will watch this right.
There it is. Look
watch
at the
this
hole.
right. Hold it.
Oh!
No, we missed it again.
Who's throwing it, Hammer? You saw it. Let us know.
I tell you what, this is a hothouse ready to explode at any moment. The Perth fans are absolutely going off their nuts.
Let me tell you, Luke Martin, and I've been a teammate of Luke Martin, I respect the little fella because he will have a crack. And I think I've told the story before on Fox Sports, but he threw a left hook one time at Gary Budnikov in pre-season and it hurt.
Billy Milton-Hall was right in the middle of it. Well done, Billy.
Well, you know what? This, the emotion of the situation probably works in the favour of the Perth Wildcats because this is going to further incite the fans and really get them involved. So Luke Martin
he's still out there.
Is still out there, and I think that we've all taken. I don't even think Gordy McLeod, the head coach. Hammer, you're probably only one of the few in this whole 5,500, 6,000 that saw what's going on.
Well, it was off the ball. We could see that those two were going, and I think it was just a reaction from Luke Martin, but he's just let one rip.
Kevin Lisch with a pair. Perth draw within 2 with 3:14 remaining in the first. I've never heard a stadium.
I don't think I was the only one who saw it, BT, quite clearly.
Well, they certainly know he was involved. Whether they actually saw what he did.
It's a grand final. These guys are that passionate about trying to get this win.
And then we see the offensive foul.
And that's it. Gordy McLeod is just taking Luke Martin out of the game, getting Reece Martin back in. I think it's a good sub. Obviously, he's emotional about the situation. He's gone in, he's got an offensive foul, he's shot the air ball at the same time. And I think that's a veteran play by Gordy McLeod.
Absolutely, settled him down because even if he didn't see what's happening, he knows he's involved in some sort of fracas.
I think too, Drew, he's taken the crowd out of it.
Exactly.
The 5,000 people booing and getting into it, it's a way for them to be able to get themselves into the game and help the Wildcats.
And Hammer, I don't care who you are, it does have an impact. It does sometimes impair your judgment also slightly, because you want to show the crowd, and sometimes you'll take a bad shot. And right there, early on, in that circumstance, Luke Martin trying to create something off the dribble may have been better advised in those circumstances just to get it through and run their half-court sets.
This is the time after a fracas that you need to get to the basket, because the referees are going to call every little foul. You want to get in the dribble, you want to challenge the referees to make the hard call, because they don't want any physical contact now.
Hello. Martin Cavalini before the game was on fire in his shoot-around, and if he wanted any extra motivation, a little bit of contact for Luke Martin would get him going. Reece Martin gets away with a push-off, and he throws it into the stands.
Thought he needs a timeout.
I think you're right, Hammer. The Perth Wildcats just sensing a little emotion after that incident. And like I said, it's all very good and well to pump your chest and get involved in the bravado, but you've got to keep it in the context of where you're at.
Reece Martin. One-on-one with Damian Martin. Gets it to Saville. Thought about the three. Put it on the floor. Took him on. Beautiful inside pass to Davidson. Couple of nice little fakes there. Got Young off the deck.
Again, it's the penetration. This time there was no screen, but just the simple penetration. Perth got to do a better job of containing the ball.
There's Catalani. Lurking the perimeter. Looking for a three. Got it off. Unluckily rims out. Wagstaff for the offensive rebound. Gets it back to Catalani, this time for three. Davidson with the rebound. Inside Tragardh with a little hooker off the glass.
There's no way that should happen. Cameron Tragardh is coming off a 28-point game. He's on fire already up to 8 points. There's no way he should be that open in the transition that early on in the offense.
Galen Young, didn't work for him. Wollongong absorbing the incredible intensity and pressure in this one. 2-point lead, 47 left in the first. They have played well. Saville says clear out. I want to go with Catalani. Pulls up at the elbow and nails a little 12-footer.
And that's a great shot by Sav. And after doing it the time before, getting to the basket and creating for someone else.
Here's Wagstaff from three. He was set once again. It rims out. 20 seconds. Shot clock will be just a slight differential there, I think.
1 of 6 now, the Perth Wildcats from the three-point line, only to 17%. Some good looks, just not dropping for them so far.
So Wollongong to hold their lead. And there's a foul.
And that's a really good isolation play, exposing Martin Catalani, who's not known as a great defender.
And that'll be the fifth, so they go into the bonus.
Glenn Saville in a one-on-one from the top. And they've only got to the line so far 4 times in the game, Wollongong. 2 times in the game to Perth's 9.
Tim Beredoff checking in the game. I'd assume that this is purely for defensive purposes, the last 5.5 seconds.
Saville with a pair. The first 5.7 seconds left in this first quarter. They've really absorbed the pressure incredibly well, Wollongong. Daniel Jackson checks in for some rare minutes this year. Born and bred Wollongong boy. There's Martin. Shot clock ticks down to 3. Get it away. Damian Martin has a long look. Wow. And Berendorf for the rebound. What a classic. Game 3 grand final series first quarter we had. It was full of intensity. It was a hot house. It just about erupted. And we'll be back in just a moment.
That struggle in the grand final, very hard to create good scoring opportunities because the defense is so tough when you're executing those elongated half-court plays.
And as we said, Perth were always going to put pressure up the court, Drewy, and they've just done a good job of taking advantage. That is just a terrible closeout by Sean Redditch in a grand final series. You can't just close out somebody who's had 28 points like that and allow him to get a layup.
He's already got 10 points. 5 of 6, he's 83%. And all of them, Hammer, coming from point blank. I tell you what, the Perth Wildcats, they are in danger of this game starting to slip away from them. They look like a bit of a rabble on the offensive end.
It's like they need a target. Perth need a target to go to somebody. They've already played 10 players as Matt Campbell, unbelievable, takes them to an 11-point lead.
So Damien Martin, Shenser, Williamson sets for 3.
They're just blazing away.
Davidson with a big rebound.
It's not working. The 3 ball's not dropping. They're 1 of 8. If they just continue to blaze away, we take a look at how easy, as you mentioned, Cameron Tragardh gets to the rack. Fair enough, the closeout was poor. He's got to do a better job, but the weak side was completely oblivious to the help as well.
Yeah, they need to change their strategy, the Perth Wildcats, because right now, 11 points down, and with no target, Drewy, I was saying on offense, Perth need to go to somebody. At the moment, they need to get ready to Lisch or somebody into the game and run a play specifically for them. It looks like at the moment they're working it around with no idea what they want to do.
You're dead right, and it's all very terminal for the Wildcats now. If anything, they are the ones that probably should be taking the wind out of the ball, so this league try and keep control of it. Kevin Lisch is just getting ready to check back in. They need to find a way to create some scoring opportunities. Full credit to the Wollongong Hawks. They're playing some great defence.
11-point leaders. They're serving it up, the Wollongong Hawks, on the road.
Probably the hardest thing, Hammer, is that a lot of the 3-point attempts, they're 1 of 8. A lot of them, they've been wide open. It's not like in isolation they've been bad shots, but in the context of the wave of momentum's going against you, some of them very poor shot selection.
I think the biggest thing is that they've played 10 players, so it's not the same people repeating the problem. But someone comes in off the bench and they haven't had a shot yet, and that's what they do, well then they think it's their turn to be able to do it. And that's the problem when you're trying to rotate so many players.
Shenser with the 3 fouls. The only player in real foul trouble at the moment. Here's Martin. Thought about Young on the post. Redditch, a little give to Lisch. Tried to penetrate back to Martin. Had an open look, it's online. And that brings the crowd to life after they've been silent for a few minutes.
And I don't think it's any coincidence that it was after they'd been through a set of hands, they've explored all the other options, and then Martin eventually drains one.
Lisch Martin. Matty Campbell. Davison on the post with Young. He tried to get the hand away from Young. Turns him to the base. Young's ready for it. Tried to give away in the turnover. So that's again to Young. The handoff. Way with beautiful athleticism. Went over the attempted block.
Good athleticism, and he got it off the glass nice and soft.
It also came from the great defensive play from Galen Young in the post to force that turnover.
Indeed. A couple of turnovers already, and all of a sudden Perth inching their way back into it here. This is a big score for Wollongong this time down the court.
There's the 3 from Damien Martin, and that came from a good half-court set. And as you mentioned, Hammer, Galen Young just putting a body on Larry Davidson, and that led to the turnover and the easy transition.
So Davison comes out, Gruber comes in.
Already, the Wollongong Hawks have had 11 assists in this game.
Luke Martin, Damien Martin applies a lot of pressure to his ball skills. Matty Campbell off the screen, Lisch was with him. Playing some real good D was Kay Lisch. Luke Martin thought about it for a moment. Perimeter ball movement. Luke Martin steps back, looks at the 3. That's a miss. Oh, Gruber did well to keep it alive. Tragardh. The pass to Lisch. The pull-up from 3. For Kay Lisch.
That is just a great pass from Damien Martin from one side of the court to the other. The shot always shows opposite in transition, and he's able to nail one of the best 3-point shooters in the league on the break.
He does.
Timeout called here. Scores 33-36. Perth on the charge back. They were down 11 at one stage, and they're all of a sudden back into it. So Rob Beveridge will talk the players through that and see how we go there. By the way, Andrew, some important news coming up next week, and Shane, for the NBL, and I believe an announcement, I think on around about the 17th, is it?
I think it's the 18th. The press release came out today.
You'd think, mate. You're on the board. You know everything that's going on.
What is the announcement next week, Andrew? Do you know anything about it?
Well, my understanding is, and I don't know a lot about this particular one, but I assume it's the announcement to how the makeup of the competition is going to be next year, and I don't know exactly the specifics of it all. I have an expectation that
we're hearing that Sydney are booked and Brisbane aren't.
That is the rumour, but in all honesty,
Drewy, hold on, mate. Can you give us something?
Yes.
You're on the board. You're giving us nothing.
No, well, I've been away the last couple of days, and when I've ploughed myself into the research for this game, I've just made this my focus.
I saw you in deep conversation with Larry Senstock, the CEO of Basketball Australia. Did he not give you anything?
Well, BT, it is no secret that the NBL is vigorously out there trying to get Sydney up.
Drewy, will they be the Kings?
I believe they will be in the competition, and they will be the Sydney Kings. But I don't know.
There is the man we speak of.
That's just my opinion.
Larry Senstock on the vision there.
Well, let's hope they do come into the league, and let's hope that they are the Kings, because a lot of sports fans around Australia certainly know that logo and that name.
Of course, look, the Larry Senstock medalist will be awarded for this game, the best player in the grand final series. Larry himself, a 5-time championship winner in this competition, one of the all-time greats, and now the CEO of Basketball Australia. Here's Luke Martin, good twist. The outward feed. Saville thought about the pull-up shot, went past way, off the glass. Didn't work. Now Lisch, beautiful spinning move around Martin. Now he's got Conrad to beat. Takes him on. Puts it up. The foul's been called, and he'll shoot a pair.
He's very good in the transition when he has his mindset to be able to do what he did. Great spin move at the half court. You see here, I'll just be in the backcourt, and then the confidence to be able to take on the defense and try and get to the line. That's three fouls on Perth, only the first to Wollongong.
Gruber takes a seat, while Lisch shoots a pair.
And he is a big-time player, which we saw early on in the season when he nailed that three against the Townsville Crocodiles. And in this type of situation, you need those guys that want the ball, that want to take charge, and are not going to don't have that fear of failure.
Just get the feeling at the moment that the last couple of times down the court, Wollongong have just not done it the way they wanted it.
It's a 10-point run, BT, to the Perth Wildcats.
Glenn Saville was able to get rid of Way and pulled up. That's a nice shot by Glenn Saville.
That's a tough shot, Drewy, because that was very good defence from Stephen Way, who has really improved at the defensive end so far this year.
And he's got good size, but that's just not a lot of structure. Just give it to Sav, and he just goes on a one-on-one move and makes a very tough shot.
There's Way. Puts it on the floor. Gives it to Young. Open look. Plenty of metal. Martin says, I'll try the three. And that's all net. All of a sudden, Perth are drawn level with Wollongong.
That's a great shot, BT, but I don't like the fact that Galen Young is their centre and he's shooting threes. He needs to set some screens and they need to go inside.
He has been up high a couple of times, hasn't he? Here's Damien Martin trying to penetrate. Did well, but the defence was up to the task. Lisch had it knocked away by Conrad. Inside ball to Young. That's where Shane Hill wants Young. And that's what he needs to do, Shane.
Yeah, he does. And that was great play by Kevin Lisch as well. He was aggressive, got the up fake going here, and then he found the inside pass to Young. And that's where he does his best work. Everyone knows what he's going to do. They get to the offensive board and cover the defensive transition.
I'm not so critical of that three-point shot after it's gone down, you've been through a set of hands, you explored all your other options, but you're right, Hammer, it was early, and 4 of 12 now, the Perth Wildcats, and Damien Martin and Kevin Lisch are the ones that are doing the damage. Both of those guys are 2 of 2 from the three-point line. Kevin Lisch has got 11 points, and he leads the way for the
And that's what I'm saying, Drewy, is that 7 players for the Perth Wildcats have taken threes.
Going to be a reasonably high-scoring first half this by the time we finish it for the NBL this year with the 10-minute quarters. Conrad with the almost a pick-up carry. The crowd called it.
And oops.
Now Martin looking to get inside. There is Conrad. He's hemmed in the corner to Way. Gets Way off the ground.
24-second shot clock, BT.
Shot clock violation.
That's right. Good defence by the Perth Wildcats. Have a look at this. A little...
Oh, boy.
Now, did he keep his hand above the ball? Hammer.
It's a double dribble, Drewy, surely.
Absolutely. Here's Kevin
Looked like
Lisch.
one.
Luke Martin, Young come over the top and swatted it away. But it's a Wollongong ball.
How good are these fans?
Yeah, they're unreal, aren't they?
Even with the headphones on, it's hard to hear you guys even talking just because of the noise they're making.
Absolutely.
Very intimidating.
I have never seen a more hostile house than what I'm hearing here tonight. Not a very nice welcome at all for the Hawks. Tragardh. Reece Martin. Thought about the shot. Tragardh and Wagstaff go at it. Settles for the jumper.
Bit of defence by Wagstaff to pressure Tragardh into being able to take that shot.
Wagstaff has given Tragardh an elbow there. Pushed him off the ball. I saw it. That was a big elbow. Rob Beveridge said he flopped. But Tragardh, in my book, copped it there. Let's have a look at it on the replay.
Oh, that's soft.
Soft?
That's extremely soft. Come on, Cam.
Yeah, that's a bit soft, but hey, it's got the reward for his team.
Robin's having a bit of a chat with him about perhaps
There's
a little.
There's no doubt the extent of the arm, but just very mildly. And I guess Cameron Tragardh just did what he had to do to advise the ref.
That because, mate, the amount of flops you took cutting through the key was unbelievable over a long career.
You were almost Fosbury flop style. You were that much of a flopper.
Hey, you were autumn leaves. You're on the ground more than you're up.
Martin's had it knocked away. Robbins in the open court. Perth hit the front.
And straight away, Gordon McLeod goes to his bench and brings back Glenn Saville. Off the ball too. Kevin Lisch
getting a little iffy here again.
This is a dangerous 3 minutes and 21 seconds for the Wollongong Hawks after leading by up to 11, and now this momentum going back Perth's way.
Martin to Martin. Reece Martin looking to take Lisch on, missed the lock. Poor result for Wollongong there. Kevin Lisch with a spin. Wagstaff at the top. Now Robbins puts it on the floor. The pass back to the veteran and Catalini. Looking for championship number 4, Martin Catalini. And a foul on Glenn Saville.
Before the game, I asked Martin Catalini was here for shooter, and I said, "What have you got for me, Martin? What's the inside scoop?" He said, "Well, Drewy, the scoop is this is going to be my last game."
Really?
He said this is going to be his last game, and he's retiring after this game.
All right, we'll come back and talk about that at the moment. Sitting in the crowd out here, we have the Basketball Australia CEO, Larry Senstock, is with us. And Larry, you must be excited about the crowds that have filled the stadiums in the latter part of the year.
Yeah, look, as Shane said, this is a fantastic crowd tonight, but we've had sellout crowds for the final series. And, you know, I'm a rat. I think this has been a really fantastic year for us in the NBL, and we've tried to build, and this is a great finish to it.
Larry, Shane here. I can't wait any longer. I need to know, are the Kings back? Come on, we can't wait till
I'll let you know
Larry.
in due time, Shane. I'll let you know. But obviously, yeah, we'd love to see a team in Sydney next year, and we're working very, very hard on that. And hopefully, we'll have something for you pretty soon.
And Larry, if Sydney does come back into the competition, is it going to be at the expense of one of the teams, or are we going to see some expansion?
Well, that's still a decision that's got to be taken. So we're again thinking about that and looking at all of the whole thing is we must make sure that it's sustainable, that the teams that are in stay in the league for the long term, so that fans like this can really get behind their team and stay behind their team.
I bet you're glad that you made the decision at the start of the year to continue with the competition rather than delay it a year, because it has ended up being the closest season in NBL history, and it's been a great year for all concerned.
Well, it has. As you say, it's the closest year we've had, and to have this, the crowds like this to be able to put a game on like this for them is fantastic. So thanks for your support, guys.
Good on you, Larry Senstock there. The CEO of Basketball Australia will present the Larry Senstock Medal to the player judged the best in the grand final series. And 5 times an NBL champion himself.
And also Diane Sias and Bruce Sprangler right next to him, 2 other board members. So good to see them out here supporting the grand final.
There's a double dribble. That's a great call by the ref.
There'll be nothing on the statistics for Brad Robbins, but his intention on defense there in the defensive transition to take Martin, go on to the next guy, have a little slap at it and cause that double dribble.
Here's Redditch. Goes to work on Davison. Snuck past Tragardh as well, but ball was knocked away. Saville can see Campbell in the corner. Couldn't get him the ball.
I mean, you made a great point with Robbins. He's come on and really changed the complexion of this game.
Martin knocks down the 3.
He's going to get the points for that, but that wasn't a great shot in the context of this game. If they miss that, that's when Perth are running it down their throat.
There's Redditch, the little payback from 8 foot. So you really believe Catalini last game tonight?
That's what he told me before the game. That was the scoop he gave me, and what a career he's had, and obviously he's hopeful of going out on a winner. There's the blocking foul call.
Charge, Drewy. Wasn't it? Was it a block?
The ref signalled the block and the charge. He did both signals.
Oh, there you go.
So tell me what that means.
And a bet each way.
Here's Lisch. Oh, look at the footwork, the ball work. Gives it back. Robbins out to Lisch. Lisch sets himself from 3. Look good. Wagstaff with a one-handed rebound while he held Reece Martin down. Catalini from the corner. The veteran. And Davidson tidies up on the boards. Gordy McLeod on the side saying, come on, get the ball down into transition a bit quicker. And here's a foul off the ball.
This time it was Larry Davidson and Robinson at the top. An elbow they've called on Robbins.
So this will be a bonus situation here for Wollongong. Larry Davidson. From the line, the big fella. His 3rd year with the Hawks. Similar to college basketball, the background there, with the fans trying to put him off with the free throws in the States. High-octane first half of basketball in this, the deciding game of the grand final series. A hold off the ball against Matty Campbell.
And all things considered, Hammer, you'd have to say no matter what happens with a minute and 15 to go before halftime, the Wollongong Hawks would be delighted with the scoreline right now and the way that they've started this game.
Oh, no doubt. They've taken some of the emotion out of the game and being able to put points on the boards. That was the thing that we questioned coming into this game. Could they score enough points on the road to be able to get a W in a grand final series?
There was the off-the-ball foul, the holding by Matt Campbell.
Well, Lisch looks like he's going to tie it up just before the half, but 45 points already. Says that they're getting in the realms of enough if they can keep it going in the second half.
There is a lot of physical contact. These aren't easy games to officiate.
Game 1, BT, they only scored 63 points. Total for the game over here, and they got 45 already. Big turnaround.
Good sign. Reece Martin. Here's Campbell off the screen. The give to Saville. The backward 3. And that's a beautiful shot. Glenn Saville off balance.
It's a tough shot, but it comes off a fantastic half-court offensive set. They get the ball through some hands, and the Wollongong Hawks go to a little 2-3 zone, and they forget about the man with the ball.
Robbins with a little teardrop jumper.
They went to their 2-3. The 2 guards went to go to the forward and just invited Robbins to shoot it, and he was good enough to step in and make the free throw.
32 on the clock. Perth down by a point. The highly fancied Perth here. Saville, the dish back. Davidson just able to cut it off. Got the little push away. The left-handed shot on the shot clock buzzer. Not successful. Now Catalini in the transition to Wagstaff. He posts him up. Goes inside with a little right-hand hook. No good, but they keep it alive here. It didn't hit the ring. They'll have to be quick. Robbins got it away, but it didn't work. And there's the expiration of the clock. And there'll be no further play in this first half of basketball. That will be it. 47-48. The Hawks by 1 point in this game here.
I would have thought.
All right. Well, they're the World Championships.
Now you know what it sounds like.
Coming up for the Boomers later on this year. Don't forget, Perth have been in this situation where they've lost 2 grand final series deciding games in Perth. So there is some chance for Wollongong.
Great start, BT, for the Perth Wildcats. Good aggressive play from Damien Martin.
A lot of pressure from Damien Martin on Reece Martin, the ball carrier. There's the ball to Campbell. Shenser didn't come at him. Gives it out to Davison. He likes a free, but that falls way, way short. Way backs into Campbell. Here's Lisch wanting to get Shenser involved. A little pass over the top. Shenser with the baseline one-handed jumper.
Hammer, you were talking about a go-to guy for the Perth Wildcats. Sean Redditch, he was 3 of 5 in the first half, but he's one you look at and say that if I'd get him a few more touches.
Davison knocked away by Shenser. No foul. Remember, he's on 3 at the moment. Someone in the crowd's got a whistle as well. Way into Shenser. He wanted it. He called for it. Now, don't lose your positioning inside the paint. He tries to muscle his way in. Davison, good D. Couldn't get the drag over the top in the end.
You can't miss it from that close.
Can't, can you? Reece Martin makes them pay at the other end.
And that's the penalty at the other end. When you miss a shot like that, Wollongong are going to run it on you. And that's how they got their percentages up at 60% in the first half.
They're down by a point, Perth. Andrew, when does the scoreboard pressure start to tell on you in a grand final as Damien Martin nuts a 3?
Well, right now, it really told on the Perth Wildcats early on, but right now, there's never more than a basket in it. The last 7 or 8 minutes.
Well, Perth must start at some stage to think, gee,
what do we have to do?
Yeah.
What do we have to do to shake them off? And that's what I was saying. As long as the Wollongong Hawks can hang in there, go down to the wire and give themselves a chance.
I don't think they do. I think the Perth Wildcats know exactly what they have to do. They have to get stops, and then that flows into their transition game. And when they're taking the ball out of the net like they have 40% of the time, because Wollongong are shooting 60%, they can't get any flow going.
Just 7 on the shot clock here for Wollongong. Campbell, baseline jumper. That was really, really sweet. Lisch had a hand there.
And that's one of those ones you look at and say, well, there's not a whole lot more the defence can do. Running at it's just a great play by Matty Campbell. The Perth Wildcats, you know, they'll live with that to a certain extent.
Stevie Way looking to use his athleticism against Saville. Got inside, did it really well in the end. Had to follow there just in case as well.
Back to Redditch, Drewy. I think they certainly need to establish him, and certainly in transition as well. There was a time before he was running the lanes. They needed to be able to give it to him when he gets open.
Tragardh was disappointed he didn't get the ball inside then. Beautiful pass from Martin to Gruber.
Just great execution of game. They have been the premier team in the half-court sets of running their offence and finding the open man.
Redditch puts it on the floor, attacks the rim, draws the foul from Tragardh.
And that's what we're talking about with Sean Redditch. This time he does it himself. See from the top of the ring, just a simple one-on-one play. And just a little push, they ping Tragardh on.
You'd love to see Redditch get the ball on the elbow in an isolation play with screens happening on the weak side and give him a chance to use his athleticism, because he's the size of a 4-man, but he's got the athleticism of a 3-man, so he's a very difficult player to be able to match up in a one-on-one contest.
Cam Tragardh just got to tread a little carefully because he's on the 3. If he collected another foul in the next minute or 2, he would be out until the last quarter probably.
And there's another reason why you go to Redditch if Tragard's going to try and stay with Redditch.
Great D, Sav.
Here is Redditch, gets it in the corner to Martin. Martin with a penetrating drive, the dish out, the ball handling not all that clean. Here's Redditch in the post. Luke Martin tried to put a hand there. Back out to Lisch, a long-range 3. Brings the crowd to their feet.
And this is the time the Wollongong Hawks now have to go at something. They're out by 4 points, and it's danger times again to keep this crowd out of it.
It is. don't reckon they can afford to get 8-10 points behind here. Saville takes it to the rim, aggressively scores, and will shoot for the three-point play.
Glenn Saville really picked it up. 13 points now, 5 of 7. It's 71% from the field. He's also got the 3 rebounds. And what an aggressive play to the basket. Much needed time.
Who's your Larry Senstock medalist for the best player in the grand final series if you had to pick one right now?
Right now, well, it's over the whole 3 games. And right now, Kevin Lisch has put up his hand. He'd be one that you're looking at to say would be in contention for the Perth Wildcats.
I think it depends on who wins, BT.
That's true.
If Perth win, I think it's Lisch. I think if Wollongong win, you have to go Tragardh.
Right. Saville, crowd doing their best to force the miss, and they do. That's a win for the crowd. They like their work, but the offensive board's good for Wollongong. Here's Saville again, puts it on the floor, breezes past Catalini, and Gruber sticks it in for 2.
All of a sudden it's tied up again. They just find a way to be able to stay in games, and that's what you have to do on the opposition's floor to be able to be in the game at the end, to be able to give yourself a chance.
Redditch missed there. Gordy McLeod almost put a block on Kev Lisch then. On the court, here's Luke Martin. Bit of help there from Gruber. Knocked away, and it'll be a Wollongong ball, and a substitution here for both teams. Galen Young and Wagstaff step in. Conrad takes the spot of Saville. So Saville back, really having an effect on this game. Gordy McLeod says to him, well done.
Shenchen and Redditch out for the Perth Wildcats.
Ball inside, quick move on the ball, Gruber to Luke Martin. He wants to block. Conrad. No one willing to shoot it, as though Conrad puts up a breathtaking shot in the end that was never going to go.
That was from your territory, Drewy.
That was a deep, deep shot.
There's Wagstaff just on the court, nails the 3.
Always tough to do when you've come in, only been in the game 10 seconds. A wide open opportunity presents itself. He's good enough to knock it down.
Look at this. They're starting to wrap around. Davidson pushed him away. Young clapped him in the face and says, I sucked you right into that one. Oh boy, the 2 big boys in there banging.
You're a great lip reader, BT.
Look at this. Like, there's good defensive pressure extending it.
Wagstaff thought about the 3 again, the whack around the back from Martin. It'll be 4 fouls against the Hawks. Next one will put them in the bonus.
And that's what happens in play. When you talk about the pressure of playoff basketball, there's no, if this is round 13, Wollongong playing Perth, there's no way Galen Young's at the centre line putting on-ball pressure on Larry Davidson.
Beveridge and Radford, coach and assistant coach there.
Galen Young's done a good job, though, coming in late and being able to establish a role as a bit of an agitator, and it does all the dirty work, and normally the Americans aren't coming in doing that.
He has indeed been that. Look at him and Gruber go at it off the ball. You can see them down the bottom of the frame there. There's another attempt. No win there, but the offensive rebound. Lisch puts it up, a high floating shot. It's really rough and very physical inside the paint.
Right.
Oh boy, wowee. As Conrad gets it to Davidson. Gruber goes to work on Young, takes him to the rack, sticks it, and will shoot the 3rd.
Down low. What a play by Dave Gruber. Had to shake and bake. Have a look at the work down and the contact. He's just had to battle to buggery down the other end, trying to contain Galen Young on the defensive end, and then he's good enough to get the play down on the offensive end.
This draws the scores level. Some pressure on the ball from Wollongong with a little late arriving. Catalini, the veteran, looking for his 4th championship. There's Young and Davidson. They definitely don't like each other. The give to Lisch. Held the ball away from Gruber, drew the foul.
That was great, weak side cutting from the Perth Wildcats, and a very good, hard, solid foul from Gruber that wasn't going to give up an easy shot from Lisch.
Hammer, Dave Gruber is having an outstanding impact on this game. He's got 9 points, he's 4 of 4 from the field, and his physical presence down low. He's undersized in a lot of circumstances, but he has been fantastic tonight.
Saville and Tragardh are about to step back into the game.
Well, Gruber plays that similar role that Galen Young does, probably without the in-your-face sort of agitating...
without the bravado.
That's a good word, Drew. I like it. Let's go with the bravado.
That's his fourth, I think, is it, Gruber? May well be. Check the stats for you. It is his fourth for Gruber. So he'll sit for a while. Can't afford to have him out, as the boys just mentioned. He's been a real spark in this grand final series for Wollongong. Saville just fresh on the court. Lisch, dish to Robbins. Back to Lisch. Thought he had an opening for three there. Galen Young just applied a hip and shoulder on Davidson as he banged him inside the paint. There's Young. Got Davison off the deck. Young went with a pass when he probably shouldn't have. Catalini finds the open man in Lisch. Lisch a little bit short on the shot. Davison and Wagstaff tangle, and Davison with a push.
I don't like that call.
That's called on Wagstaff.
That's a terrible call, Billy. Wagstaff got that ball clean, and the foul was on Davidson.
In fact, Davidson had almost given up. Just pushed him out of the way.
If anything, it's a no call. Just play on.
That is not a good one.
Luke Martin. The turnover forced. A beautiful trap against Reece Martin.
Jeez, they're letting them play.
They certainly are.
Contact on the ball handler.
Been brilliantly reffed, actually. They have let him play. There's Lisch to the base. Sticks it in for two. Perth back out by three at the 3 minute to go mark in the third quarter.
This has been an adjustment year for Kevin Lisch. He played in a program at college where he wasn't a big-time scorer and they had to work the ball around for 40-odd seconds. Now he needs to be able to step up as a scorer. He's got to the line 10 times. That's not...
Have a look at Kevin Lisch, and he just takes it to the rack.
Surely that's first ball.
Well, we'd like to see the replay on that one. It was hard to tell from where we're sitting, but it looked that way, didn't it?
Well, at the moment, 3 points up, the Wildcats.
Get down low in your stance. Make them back pedal here. We don't want them turning the corner on this. Okay? So the screen's over here. With this group, switch. Right? Switch the on-ball. So when they come off this, it's contact. I don't want them diving. So when you come under, you've got to hold that man. You've got to come out to your stance. So right now, you guys can switch this out. Let's run. 4. Okay, 4. So come out. Get that no-mo. You turn the corner. You look to post up the side here. You look to seal your man. You guys lift out of the corner. So Gamo, you look to get in the paint.
Rob Beveridge there, they look a committed outfit, the Wildcats. Looking for their 5th championship. Crowd sensing just a little opening here for Perth.
Great to see some Wollongong Hawks fans make the journey all the way out west to be able to support their team.
Absolutely. The Steelers centre would be full back in Wollongong, I'm sure. They'd be watching this one. And your team, I can say, has a very realistic chance. Some of their fans there. There's Martin. Taking it to the rack. Got it to go. That's a 2.
That's a good finish for Martin, Reece Martin, because he missed 4 of those same shots, layups, easy shots in game 2 in the game that Wollongong won.
He's found a little bit more form here tonight, hasn't he? He's had a little bit more confidence to shoot the ball. Wagstaff with a look at Catalini. Grab the offensive rebound.
They're killing him on the offensive boards. That's 10 offensive rebounds now to the Perth Wildcats. Only 3 for the Wollongong Hawks.
Damien Martin with a brilliant mid-air fake.
Changed mid-air.
We didn't have that sort of hang time.
That was unbelievable.
And that's the sort of effort it's taking to... That's how hard it is to score. You've got to come up with those super plays in order to score.
Absolutely. Saville thought nothing but shot. Lisch wants to hustle it down. Martin went to ground, so he had an easy look for 2.
Drewy said it earlier, he is a big game player, and he's brought his A game today. 21 points, 5 from 10 from the field.
He's averaged 13 in the grand final series, so he's above the average here tonight. As Martin gives them more space, I think we'll see a timeout in a moment. 7-point lead with the Wildcats. Gordy McLeod lets them play.
Well, he has no choice. Last year, you could call a timeout from the floor. He's got to wait till a stop before he can get a timeout. Now we're under FIBA rules.
Tragardh's had it stolen. So a chance to extend the margin to 9 or 10. Martin again, looking for a bit of hang time. Wagstaff, not to be. Gee, they're pounding them on the offensive board, Perth.
12 offensive boards now for the Perth Wildcats.
Damian Martin rims out, another go for Perth.
Oh my, this breaks your heart if you're a Wollongong Hawk fan.
7 points, offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Lisch, he got a clip, and he'll shoot 2.
He's going to learn a lot from this season and this game, Kevin Lisch, because he's really grown in stature the longer the season's gone on, and this is the sort of aggressiveness that you like to see him play with this mindset coming off those picks, because he's such a great shooter when he does it.
83% free throw shooter for his career from the line.
We talk about those second chance points. Perth Wildcats, they have 10 second chance points. The Wollongong Hawks only have the 2.
Seems like even more though, Drewy. You say 10, it seems after 13 offensive rebounds that it's just broken the run from the Hawks.
You're dead right, that's got more to do with the shooting percentage. They haven't really been able to capitalise on that. They're now at 44% from the field, the Perth Wildcats.
Plus 9 points now for the Wildcats. Berendorf steps in and Davidson will step out. Just at the moment, Larry Davidson take a seat on the bench. Here's Berendorf, the big boy.
There's a lot of contact
from Young. The pressure on the ball, so significant that Luke Martin threw it away.
It's getting out of hand now for the Wollongong Hawks. Real danger time.
Place is erupting with excitement. They're busting it open. What has Wollongong got left in the tank? Differential in the shot clock, about 3 seconds here.
Oh, he
Lisch,
travelled.
the up fake.
Oh my.
Got it for 3.
Oh my, Hammer.
Big time play, Lisch.
26 points.
Oh boy, Martin with the foul. The house is almost celebrating. But guess what? We've got a quarter to go.
I think we've found our MVP.
Luke Martin from the corner. Rims out. And a foul will be called.
Offensive
against
foul.
Luke Martin. Oh boy, 1:55 remains and we've got a 12-point Wildcats lead that has been blown out in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
I think the Perth Wildcats are suggesting that maybe there might have been another second left on the clock, or with that foul, the referees have waved it off.
So just checking it out here at the bench now. And that's good refereeing, not to make a decision out of haste, but actually go and see if there was a second left on the shot clock. In fact, they're going to call them back out, I think.
The other question, BT, is were Wollongong in 4 team fouls?
Absolutely.
Because if that's the case, there may be free throws.
Well, it was an offensive foul.
Didn't he push him afterwards?
I'm not sure how they called it.
Well, there was a guitarist out in the middle ready to give it a rip, and he's been ejected out of the game.
He was setting a screen.
They're trying to reset the clock. They've got issues with the scoreboard. Oh my, we don't need this right now.
Well, they had issues with the shot clock here prior to tonight's game and the first game of this series as well.
For the life of me,
when you start talking about issues, the biggest issue they've got is with the air conditioning, because I'm in a sweat.
Yeah. Indeed, imagine what it's like for the players out here.
39 in Perth
today.
What
about the players? They don't have to wear suits.
Yeah. Well,
they might have to run around and spend just a little bit more energy. But we're still
3 on the clock they've got, or is that point?
They're trying to get
3.
1.7. Right now it's
0.03, that is.
there they go. They got the 1.7 up on the clock right now.
So it looks like it's going to be a 1.7 second play here. Backcourt for Perth. Young gets it off. Lisch will need to shoot it straight away. Got the shot away. Didn't panic.
Oh!
It's in. He's rimmed it in. It counts. Gordy McLeod wanted it waved away.
Surely that took longer than
He's
1.7 seconds.
From three-quarter court.
No way. That's a 3-second play. You can't up-fake and fumble it and then shoot it.
Have got to run a clock over that. He had a fake, he had a dribble, and he had a shot.
In 1.7 seconds. He's incredible if he can do that.
Scored the Wollongong Hawks.
It's a 15-point lead. It was so close about 4 minutes ago. There was nothing but a point in it. Perth have blown it open.
You say no joke, Hammer, but the first 2 minutes of this quarter are going to be crucial to see whether Wollongong can last.
There's Tragardh down low with Redditch. Puts the elbow into him. He's been called to push. Redditch said, I used my forearm. So Redditch not in any real foul trouble with his 2.
And Hammer, I know the Wollongong Hawks try to contain the tempo, but they need to start to look at some quick hitters already.
There's Saville. Takes Martin on, gives it back to Tragardh. A wide open look, he misses that. Way with brilliant athleticism on the rebound. Young's low. Wants the ball away, says I'm going, and he's done that well tonight. Offhand, Perth keep it alive. Steve Way goes inside again. This time he gets it to go. And he'll have an opportunity for a 3-point play.
And it's the body language. If you're a Wollongong Hawk fan, you're starting to become very, very tough. Have a look at this. Stephen Way just through the middle, no using the feet, just takes a wild swipe at it.
Good take too from Stephen Way. I love to see him confident. He's only a young kid, a lot of talent, and he's really come along this season.
He nails the 3-point play. Can you believe it? Scores at the moment 81-63.
And how the tide has turned. Perth Wildcats, they're up to 46% now.
Lisch Martin working up the 3. Nothing on the boards at the moment for Wollongong. Crowd have stood in this house for just about the whole game.
I'm surprised the Wollongong Hawks haven't tried some sort of zone, particularly because Perth hadn't shot the ball very well from the perimeter.
Lisch the dish, got it away. Blocked on the shot by Saville. Lisch Martin waiting for the troops to arrive. Tragardh one on the ball, turns and fronts Redditch, settles for the jumper that was short. Redditch pulls it up.
And the Perth Wildcats, they're going to be in no hurry. We know that they love the up-tempo style of play, but right now the clock is their ally.
18-point lead with Perth. Not sure Wollongong can get back from here. Lisch!
That's straight.
It was on line, just a little heavy.
It looked good from where we were sitting.
It did indeed. Kalen Young wrestles with Davison. And Young says to the bench, sub me off, sub me off.
He's blowing. It looks like he might have...
He looks like you today, Drewy.
He might have tweaked his left calf.
I think that's the issue.
There's Martin. Young's inside, goes to him. Thought about the shot from the foul line, couldn't make it. Redditch hustles. Pushed over the line by Saville.
Luke Shench is coming in for Galen Young. Hammer, if you've just called for a sub because you're blowing and you hurt your ankle, hurt your knee, your leg, or some lower limb injury, are you taking a step back fall away?
Well, probably, because he knows he's not going to get back on. So he's like, well, we're up by 18 points. I'm going to let one rip here before I make an exit.
Timeout. will be called here by the Wollongong Hawks. And we might get an opportunity to have a look at Kevin Lisch's basket from the just prior to three-quarter time erupting. Now there's 1.7 on the clock. Let's have a look at the pass. Look at the yellow. See when the clock starts ticking. Still hasn't started. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
He has had the ball in his hands for 2 seconds before the clock has started.
Well, that was in slow motion, Pete. I don't know about 2 seconds.
But Andrew.
And he travelled. And he travelled.
And that was the start of the run for the Perth Wildcats.
You're right. It's only 3 points, but the difference between a 12-point and a 15-point margin is it doesn't sound like much, but it is huge.
It's just another nail in the coffin when you know things aren't going the right way for you. And for someone like Lisch, who's such a confidence player, to have 29 points at three-quarter time is amazing.
Wow. Shot clock, nightmare.
Lisch has also got the 5 rebounds and the 1 assist.
Are looking to become the most successful team in history with 5 championships, Shane.
The other thing about Lisch, BT, is he's been to the line 12 times because of his aggressive nature. The Wollongong Hawks have only been to the line 10 times as a team.
29 points for Lisch.
I'll tell you what, the fans are up and about. This is a great place to be if you're a Wildcats fan.
There's going to be a party tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I'm on the red eye.
Shenser and Davison. Shenser couldn't work it.
You like that move, BT?
Oh, boy. Conrad's had it taken away. And Ray stuffs it home. Didn't mind it. Oh, no. 20-point margin.
Oh, this is getting ugly.
Turnover City. Martin thought about the rack. Way, who's on fire, missed the 3.
Hammer, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that 14 turnovers now for the Wollongong Hawks?
14-3, Drewy.
And right there is why we have a 20-point margin.
3 to 14 it is in the turnovers.
And a lot of those turnovers by the Wollongong Hawks have led to the uncontested play like this one here. Good reach in by Stephen Way, and just his leg buckles underneath him, and he gets the softy dunk.
Well, BT, this bad tipster that said 20 before the game started is now saying 30.
You have nailed the 20 so far, Shane, but you think it's drifting a little.
I think it's going to go to 30. This could get ugly.
Oh, boy.
The 29 points from Kevin Lisch is a season high as well.
Shane Hill did tip a 20-point win.
He did.
For Wollongong. Here's Campbell going at Shenser. There's Gruber. Off the glass, pretty spin. Just need to protect the ball and use the clock here, Perth. Shenser. Oh, that's a nice move. Just rimmed out for him, but it looked good.
Shenser just hasn't got into this whole series. He's 1 of 7 from the field tonight.
Tragardh.
That's been kind, Drewy. To say that he hasn't got into this series has been kind. He's been terrible.
He's had better games, that's for sure.
Just a nice guy, Andrew goes. Here's Shenser. They're going to Shenser. They're doubled him. Robbins peels off. Way back to Shenser. Seems like they've made him a target in this. Stephen Way. He's had a good game tonight.
He has.
13 points. 6 of 9 shooting.
Love his size, Hammer. 6'7", 6'8", can shoot it, put it on the floor. He's only going to get better. And this experience of playing in a championship series is going to do him the world of good.
I think, too, spending some time with the Boomers in the off-season and tasting international competition all goes in well for him and his whole development, because he is so young that he's only going to keep getting better.
Just notice when Stephen Way come off then, replaced by Catalini, grabbed Catalini, whispered something in his ear. Obviously something about enjoying this last 5 minutes of his career.
And I'm tipping Catalini comes in here, plays 2 or 3 minutes, sub him out, get the good ovation from the fans, and celebrate what has been a tremendous NBL, international and Boomers basketball career.
His 450th game in this grand final series. And he has been a fantastic player. 49% from the field for his career. Martin Catalini. Championship number 4 coming up for him. Here's Williamson. Hasn't been able to find a lot of baskets in this grand final series. Here to put a lot of pressure on Reece Martin. Luke Martin has a look at it. And there's a head-high tackle from Glenn Saville. Just about decapitated him.
Both players put their body on the line that time, there's no doubt about it. Sav will be very, very disappointed. And no malice in that from Sav.
That's his fault.
He will be very disappointed with the way they've finished off this second half.
And it really was just that spurt 6 minutes ago in the third when the Wollongong Hawks just couldn't keep up the scoring board pressure.
Gee, they've looked
on the Perth Wildcats.
Looked after the ball, Perth, haven't they? Just 4 turnovers.
All this defensive pressure, 4 turnovers is an unbelievable performance.
Because it has
in
been
any game.
Incredible intensity, yeah. Here's Williamson. Still can't get it to drop.
We have every right to pump up the Perth Wildcats, but you have to pay respect to what Wollongong have done this year and Gordy McLeod. It's just been an unbelievable effort. And we've sung their praises all season as well, even though we've tipped them to finish in the bottom bit. That's not out of respect that we've picked them to finish so low. It's because what we saw their talent levels were.
Well, on the other hand, Rob Beveridge, of course, is going to win his first NBL championship as a coach. And he also has been excellent at moulding this team, which has great depth. Foul off the ball here, that shot won't count.
They're going to call it on Robbins trying to fight through that screen.
He's a nugget, isn't he? And Robbins, he goes hard every possession. I love the way he plays defense. But you hate playing against him.
Good, I thought the ref was quite hard on him verbally.
Very demonstrative, wasn't he?
Yeah. Time to relax. It's time to enjoy the last 4 minutes here. Conrad blasts one home.
His first points tonight, boys. Conrad
played very, very well last week. I think he led the Wollongong scorers, did he not?
In game 1.
Game 1 it was. And there's Robbins with a little jumper from the elbow. $19 points. There he is, Conrad.
It was a fair screen by Berendorf to the top of the key, wasn't it?
And we really need to sing the praises of Martin Catalini. 451 games, in his 452nd game. He's averaged 14 points, or 14.5 points throughout the course of his career. And what a sensational player he's been for the NBL.
And a great way for him to finish in Perth, where he's won championships before after spending, a number of years in Cairns where they didn't have the same success that he was used to.
Won some championships in Adelaide as well. Back-to-back in 98-99 was Martin Catalini.
Conrad puts it up. Back to Martin with the offensive rebound, low ball here into Berendorf. Schenzer swats it away, and Lukey Schenzer is now going to see his 4th foul.
And as a sign of perhaps of his competitive nature of Martin Catalini, he'd forgotten about his non-playoff appearance in 1997. Last week he said, the only time I ever missed the playoffs was last year. So he completely erased 1997 as Body Nodge, the Adelaide Advertiser journalist, highlighted. And I'd said to him before the game, I said, mate, 97, you didn't make it. He goes, no. And he thought about it, he goes, oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Martin Catalini, I believe, is the only player in the Wildcats lineup that forgets to bring his training gear to training. Is that right, Andrew? Forgets his shoes, he forgets his toothbrush when he's travelling, he forgets his singlet. Just hopeless, they reckon.
No, that's what the word is. Rob Beveridge was saying before the game that of all the great things he does, he's not always all that efficient when he comes to training.
They also give him a little bit of stick about being the rooster. When a fight breaks out, he sticks the chest out and he's in there. He can't throw one, but he loves to be able to stick the chest out and be able to talk it up a little bit, the cat.
Yes.
Oh, boy. Ricky Spencer there. Number 4. Down to the last 2:23 in this one. Perth heading to be the most successful NBL team in the history.
And we talk about the Wollongong Hawks and we give them praise, but as good as they've been, they're going to have to do some work in the off-season. They'll go into next season with extremely high expectations, and they have significantly overachieved this year.
Well, the whole league is going to have to try and sign their players. No one is signed from any teams for next year.
What? No one signed from any team?
No players are allowed to sign.
Okay.
Right now, so...
When's the date for signings, do you know?
Rui?
I believe it's a couple of weeks, in a couple of weeks' time. The clubs have a little bit of time. I don't know exactly, but it's around about a couple of weeks before the official signing period can take place. I think it's the 1st of April, but
surely they have already committed to players.
Well, I'm sure they verbally would have.
I think internally, amongst your own team, you would have.
Yep. They might have heads of agreement.
Getting out there and sniffing around other teams.
Down to the last 2 minutes of this one. 17-point lead with the Perth Wildcats.
There's the turnovers, 4-14.
Wow. Inside they come. Jackson. Catalini, the veteran. Looks like he's going to play this one out, the cat, or he might get down to the last 30 and step out with a bit of ovation, Andrew.
I think so, and it would be deserving.
He hasn't let it be known publicly, has he?
I don't know. Maybe he gave me the insight as Jesse Wagstaff knocks down a 3, and he's, I think, most people's rookie of the year. So it's going to be a lot of awards next Friday night going the way of the Perth Wildcats.
Yes, the NBL Awards night next Friday night in Melbourne at the Crown Palladium. There's Catalini. The dish to Williamson. Hasn't been able to get it to drop at all. And that one wasn't good, but Catalini puts it home. 22-point lead.
6 points to Martin Catalini.
Have a look at this place jumping. Crowd are up and about. And it is a dancing here at the moment. Oh, Gruber with a strange-looking baseline shot.
1 minute to go.
Crowd have kept up this intensity all night, just like their players. Here comes Damian Martin. This is at the Redditch, who lost a handle on it. 33 seconds left in the NBL Championship. Redditch! Went the dunk. Fair and talk. Quickly.
And here comes the substitution. I hope it's for Martin Catalini so he can get the ovation that he deserves. Oh no, it's for Damian Martin. And he deserves full praise as well. What a season Damian Martin's had, Hammer. Great in the point guard position, shot the ball extremely well. That's something he's brought to the table this season. Last season he was almost a liability from the perimeter. This season in the 48% from the three-point line alone.
Well, he's always been a terrific defender and hard ball gets and rebounder for a guard. But as you say, when you see Andrew Blahoff there with a big smirk on his face, congratulations to him as well. He will certainly enjoy this.
And the former owner, Luke Lumley, there as well. So all coming out to see this historic moment of the Perth Wildcats claiming their 5th NBL title.
24-point lead with Perth. They are going to win the NBL Championship of 2010. The Perth Wildcats become the most successful team in NBL history. They have won 5 NBL championships. No other club has done that. Scenes of great emotion for the Perth Wildcats at the moment. This crowd has been one of the very best. Players congratulate, Martin Catalini, the veteran. Andrew Gay saying it'll be his last look at the NBL. Rob Beveridge becomes a championship coach for the first time in the NBL.